My knees, my toes, my head, my shoulders, my knees, my toes. All right. Are we live? Okay. Okay.
Hi, good evening. How are you all doing? Hope you had a great day, productive day, hopefully. You're welcome again to Ready for Marriage. This is R4M Studios and I'm Prolific. This evening we have an interesting conversation we're going to be engaging in. And you know, if it's a conversation, then it's beyond just one person because it's not a monologue, so it's a conversation. I have with me the face, the regular face that most of y'all like because you like to look for trouble. I need a general to cover for you. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the general in the studio.
Yay!
Where your ADC?
Before you set me up, you don't ask me the meaning of that general. I don't tell you. So.
Tell them.
Anyway, the general is the general. Anywhere, anytime.
Yeah. So, are we hearing your AKA today?
AKA serial entrepreneur.
Serial entrepreneur. Alright, so we have an interesting conversation today. I think this conversation cuts across everybody, especially in Nigeria, especially in Lagos State.
Lagos.
Beef, no beef. Everybody need an overhaul.
Everybody for Lagos. They said everybody for Lagos, nowhere.
Nowhere. Nowhere. Anyway, so yeah, we have an interesting conversation, which is we're going to be talking about past traumas.
Yeah.
Past traumas from
Overcoming past traumas.
Overcoming past traumas from previous relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah, overcoming past traumas. I mean, sometimes you even think you're so strong and you don't have any trauma.
Yeah.
And something shocks you in your new relationship along the line. So today we're going to be looking at past traumas and how to overcome them. And the general is also a therapist now.
Self-acclaimed therapist. But you know, sometimes these things, in as much as we have, professionals that are well trained, and when we get people that we look at this and say it is beyond us a bit, we can refer. But sometimes when you put your heart into this, it just opens up to you, and then you begin to, and of course, definitely you have to do research. You have to, dig deep to get answers, and then the thing just opens up to you, and then it looks like it's a gift. You understand? Yeah. So that being said, this matter, this issue.
What is trauma? I think let's start from trauma because some people now be like, these are for people, they too like BB. So maybe we should break it down basic. You know, if I was a child, if I was a 10-year-old, I would actually think of trauma to be horror movie. I mean, because a romantic movie is not exactly traumatic. Action movie can be, but it's not exactly trauma. But horror movies like Evil Dead, so a child understands trauma.
Evil Dead,
Hellraiser, those are traumatic. They leave you with trauma. And what is the trauma? The fear.
It reminds me of the movies I watched those days.
I'm not old.
Do you know they call Ultimate Power? Agbaranla. You don't know that one?
I don't know that one. A Nigerian movie?
Yes, now. I am Matanga.
I know.
Now the Ultimate Power. Now.
I do Hollywood.
Well, that was my trauma.
My trauma for Nigerian movie was Nneka the Pretty Serpent. Nneka lemanya nampolanya. And then of course living in bondage. But yeah, so it leaves you with fear as a child. That's how a child would understand trauma.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry, let me digress. Still talking about trauma. I just remembered as a child. How did I know? I just remember as a child. The first time I watched Nneka the Pretty Serpent, and then we will always watch it like 11 p.m., 12 midnight. I don't know why. Momsy was just interesting. So one of those days we finished watching the movie. I was scared, and then Momsy sent me to go get something from my room. I didn't know how to tell her I can't go alone. Anyway, I went. The door was open, like it was closed, but it wasn't locked with a key. Just fear. I was trying to open it, it was not open. It was just fear.
Yeah.
And then I imagine, I don't know, but I heard a voice from inside the room say, I locked the door.
this is. In fact, you know you have concluded our discussion, but because I'll get there. Just continue.
I think I was 11, maybe, you know. But you see, that's what trauma can do.
Yeah.
And that's what trauma looks like. Trauma can make you hallucinate.
Exactly.
I don't know if I'm going ahead of myself, but anyway, let me just step on the brakes there. So you could actually be seeing things that are not what it is. Not because you are with the wrong person, but because you are carrying over, you know, something that happened.
Yeah.
Anyway, so.
Yeah, so you know, I like the fact that we started this way, you know, talking about our childhood. So when we get to the point where we now talk about overcoming, because some of these fears we have overcome them, it means that there's hope, there's solution.
Yeah.
Before I can't sleep alone in my room. Do you get? Somebody must work with me, even if there's lights, as long as it's night. We're talking about when there's no. But now, you know, do you get? So how did you overcome this stuff? In as much as it's looking at you grew it, I can tell you there's still a lot of adults that these traumatic experiences have haunted them, and it affects their decisions till today. So trauma is a very annoying thing, it's a very painful thing. And the reason why we're talking about this today is because we have found that everybody is a summation of their experiences. And a lot of people have been, you know, hindering themselves or jeopardizing their relationship just because of past experiences. Yeah. You get? They've not fully healed up. And then the innocent guy becomes the victim, or the innocent girl becomes. So for me, I would encourage everybody, in as much as we're supposed to first of all look at the problem extensively first, but this is not a school. It's just a chat we're having about this, you know. Before we start talking about the kind of solutions, I feel that every guy or every lady should be their own therapist first. Make sure you heal up, because it's going to affect your present relationship. It will affect you, because any move you see, and now there's a balance, because that doesn't mean you should lay your guards down. You understand? You have to, but there are questions that you need to ask when it comes to knowing if it is your traumatic experiences that is, you know, haunting you, or it's actually your suspicion that is becoming a reality. And I'll get into those questions shortly.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I don't know.
I am my first therapist.
Yeah, your first therapist. I don't know if there's anybody online. Let's see. Who do we have online so that we can say shout out to them?
I am my first.
Is our Facebook up? Okay, so let me see. Oh, okay.
Trauma. And then sadly, a few Nigerians don't believe in trauma.
You know one thing with Nigerians, or one thing, should I say Nigerians? One thing with Africans that I've come to understand is that most times we tend to, because of we are very religious, we tend to, instead of looking at things factually, we tend to use faith. I love faith.
Is it really
I'm actually.
Sentiment? I don't even know.
Yeah. Okay. So it's an abuse of faith. Okay. Do you get? Because faith ought to, like, okay, I was talking to somebody, and I was like, why not do a test? And the person was like, nah, it can't be. Proclaiming faith. And I'm like, guy, now fear they worry you. And faith is not fear.
And faith is not bone face.
It's not bone face. It's not by trying to ignore what it is. In fact, you need to know what it is so that you can engage your faith well. So it's like, do a test.
Faith exists because there are facts. So faith addresses the facts.
Thank you very much. In fact, you need facts because facts complement faith.
Yes.
So how do you channel your faith well when you don't have the facts?
Let the weak say, I am strong. So faith acknowledges that you're weak.
You are weak.
But doesn't settle there.
Thank you very much. So because of that, now we're saying this because it has jumped into every aspect of our lives. And so when you now start telling somebody that you need to see a therapist or you need to heal up, they use faith to just bulldoze everything without actually factually working on themselves. You understand? So you need to be your own first therapist. Yeah. I always say it. When you leave a relationship, right, the first thing is not to jump into another relationship. You need to heal up. Because you see, that relationship was supposed to lead you to your happily ever after, right?
Yeah.
But there's a breakup now, meaning there is a wound somewhere. Even if, you were the one that called it off, there is still a wound because there were certain things that made you to call it off, right? So at that point, this is the right time to do a self inventory. Take a proper, I think you even go for a retreat if you have to. Because the truth is, we are very good at blaming, the other party. We always see we don't tell ourselves the truth. If we can just be sincere to ourselves, tell ourselves the truth, then you will clearly now see your own fault.
Sure.
When you can now see your own fault, you are 50% solving it. The remaining 50% now is to look at what pragmatic steps can I take to actually, work on this issue. So that when you now enter the next experience, you are well healed.
Yeah.
And these traumatic experiences will not haunt you.
Yeah. So just like we have ulcer as an actual ailment,
Yeah.
people actually have relationships that has ulcers.
Yeah.
Open wounds that
Yeah.
are not healed. And so we keep going around the circle. So let's I think we should look at some signs of trauma.
Yeah.
Because someone can say, I mean nothing, Odeshi.
Odeshi.
But sometimes when you see the signs, when you see yourself manifest a certain way or sound a certain way,
Mm-hmm.
It could help you to really make progress. So I don't know if you want to talk about signs or I could. I read a book some time ago that said.
Let me give you one sign.
Okay.
Shall I?
Okay.
This is like shaking the table. One sign that somebody have not yet healed up. Now, this is different from their natural makeup. People that they are introverts, they are extroverts. But one sign that people are actually not healed up is that they become, if you're an extrovert, you become an introvert. If you're an introvert, you become an extrovert. It is not because that was your nature. It's because something is making you that way and you have not been able to fix it. Then you see somebody that they don't want to associate with anybody. They just want to be in their rooms, consoling themselves with movies. They see everybody as, and it is very, very difficult for them to, give love a chance again, both male and female. I see some guys, they just feel, man, I spent a lot of money and yet this thing still happen. And then they conclude and say every woman is like this. In fact, it's not hard to get. When you just start conversation with them, you just know that this guy is a product of is a product of a traumatic injury. Yeah. You understand? Because I have a friend then that tells you all women are the same. I'm like, how can they be the same? He said, you cannot, there is nothing you can tell me. They are the same thing. And he will keep saying this thing until finally he fell in love and he got married. Unfortunately, he lost his wife. And then that was the only person that he had, that changed that mentality, a beautiful wife. And I wonder why beautiful people sometimes leave us, So it's up to now, we're still praying he finds a replacement, But this is how far a wound can go, you understand? Because right now he's finding it difficult. Even if we try to matchmake him, he tries to, because the wife was, shall I use this word, perfect for him. And then he sees the lapses, from these other persons, and he just wants his wife back. So we have to talk to him. We've tried our best to try to speak to him and say, look, you can't find your wife again. The same way you adjusted to your wife, you need to understand that this person too is unique to themselves. Find they are teachable. You can teach them, what probably your wife knew, but you should understand that they are different human beings. So one of the signs is suddenly switching temperaments. You understand? Yeah. And erratic talking. You understand? About the other gender. Yeah.
Awesome. Very, very, very deep. Switching personalities, being an extrovert becoming an introvert and an introvert becoming an extrovert. One other sign I want to add is low self-esteem, talking down on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, I'm not standing for any gender. It happens both male and female. But I've seen it more happen with ladies who were in an verbal abusive relationships where, in fact, I know a particular person who, I don't know, was she obsessed with this guy? But yeah, she loved the guy, but the guy always talked down on her, and it wasn't even in secret. He did it publicly every time. So she now moves into another relationship, and when this guy is complimenting her, she's telling the guy, no, no, my body shape is like this. I'm like this. And after a while, it was causing friction. So one of the signs that makes you know that you are carrying over a baggage, a traumatic experience, can be your self-esteem. What are you saying to yourself? That could tell. And then a major one is lack of trust. This one I think is very universal. Very universal. So she calls me and I don't pick up twice. And then she says, in there with woman, I make. In fact, just sit down with woman. In there on top woman. And when you don't on top woman, that means you don't even press the phone.
Yeah.
The phone there on belly, you see, like don't talk the phone, like that with the woman. You understand? So lack of trust is not a gender thing.
It's not
and it repels. That's the what's the English now? The reverse that we don't see is it repels somebody who genuinely loves you.
Yes.
In fact, I was told this in 2007. I liked a girl who, she really loved me genuinely, and she was just there, and I was always doubting the love. It took her elder sister to tell me, guy, this thing they do, this guy really loves you. My sister loves you, but if you continue like this, you begin to also help her paint pictures that was not there.
Yes.
So you begin to project your fear that no, maybe you see her with a guy. Get the way the guy take look at.
There is something about the ecosystem, the world, the universe, and the ether that creates your thinking and your suspicion. That is why this topic is very important. Like I said, it's the subtle, disastrous cause of most broken relationship. That's why I will put it that way. Because you can't see it, you don't know it, but that is what is killing your relationship. I'm saying this because you see, you said that she was not telling you that, you better stop this thing. If not, because that's what is going to happen. There is something about the vibrations. You create what you somebody say whatever you concentrate on grows. As long as you concentrate, they cheat. It will happen. You need to give people a chance. You understand? Yeah. You need to, in fact, start saying. That's why we make people think positive, because when you concentrate on the positive, even if the person was actually a negative, something somehow will just happen. We really cannot explain that something somehow. That's the God factor. You understand? But all through scriptures, the Bible has always encouraged us to be positive thinking. Why? Because it knows the effect of negative thinking. Now, we're not saying that just trust people. You understand? I was going to talk about maybe towards the last part where we're going to talk about how to heal up. But the Bible encourages positive thinking. It said whatever things are pure, good, this, all that. It said make sure these are the things you think on. Why? Because these things are going to manifest in your life.
And I like that he didn't say these are the things you should do. It's the things you should
think.
Because as a man thinks.
So because when you think, you become it and you do it.
Yeah.
You see that? Yeah. So you cannot break this equation. You didn't create yourself. If you think you can break this equation, then go and create yourself. As long as the person who made you said this is the equation, as you think it, you become it, and then you do it. You understand? Yeah. But before we go further, I would like to also ask one question. So why are people not healing up? Why are people not healing up? Or why are they not giving themselves the chance to heal up? Because they are certain trauma bar. It needs it needs help. I want to talk about a story, but I don't know. I'm still contemplating because I've not taken permission. Except I'm not going to say the names. But let's give a shout out to one or two people before we go further. Or as usual, Jacinta. This Jacinta.
Jacinta says overprotectiveness between both partners is another form of.
Okay, so if you are watching us and you're having difficulties on Facebook, you can check our YouTube link. I think YouTube is very, very perfect. It's not truncating. Also, Aboki Suppliers, kindly do a share on our Facebook page so that those that are having difficulty can have access to that. So this is ready for marriage. Before we go further in this discussion, I know you guys are enjoying this gist. This gist cut across both genders. It's really something that we shouldn't underestimate the catastrophic cost that it can cause. So this is ready for marriage. We talk about things like this, and we are built to help people, learn and unlearn, or shall I say unlearn and learn. Yeah, that's the right word, because the truth is we've done our research. We are established for one single purpose: to make sure that your relationship works. To make sure that we found out that so many things are happening in our world today, and as the word goes, ready for marriage. It prepares you for marriage. As long as you have plans to marry. So if you don't have plans to marry, then you're not our client. You're not for us. But you can still learn one or two things, yeah? So Ready for Marriage is here to talk about things like this and help as much people as we can. So if you have an issue you want us to look at, we have experts that we can connect you with, and then you'll talk with them. If it's something you want us to air on our platform, we will do that. If it's something like a message you want to send to us, you want to be anonymous, fine and good, we'll do that. And also, if you are actually looking for a matchmaking, then you can also reach out to us, and then we'll put out the word out there, and whosoever meets you. But I have a good news for you guys. Our app is still coming up. Hopefully we'll be launching end of this month, and then you can actually, all these things I just said, you will find that in the app. Wonderful app. An app that is not just a matchmaking app, an app that is going to study you. We have machine learning in the app, studies you, and then it's also suggests based on how it has studied you, suggests courses for you, tells you, okay, work on your communication skill, work on this, work on that, so that you can become a better person for that person you're looking for. We all want an angel, but we don't want to be an angel ourselves. Angels attract angels, likewise demons. So if you have been attracting demons, check yourself. All right. So that being said, let's get back to our topic. I think I need to also announce if we're doing any giveaway today. Giveaway people. How many people are here? Okay. So anyway, share, and what you're going to do is just share. Sometimes you've got to do these things not because of just giveaway. Just if you feel that what we're doing is blessing a lot of lives, you can go ahead and share, comment, support what we're doing, okay? And God is your reward. I'll also give giveaways, of course, definitely. Before some people will say, hey, may God reward me now. All right, so back to our discussion.
You asked the question before those notices.
Yeah.
You said, why don't people heal up?
Yeah.
For me, in one word, is because most people live in self-denial. That's for me in one word. Self-denial. We don't heal up not because there's no chance to heal. We don't heal just because we're in self-denial. The moment you accept, accepting that you have a challenge doesn't demean you. It doesn't mean you have been defeated. It just means that you have found the point to deal with.
Which is a good news.
Which is good news. So self-denial is, and this is how sometimes we see people just fall down, collapse. And you say, go for checkup. You don't have to be, especially, I'm sorry, forgive me. I'm Nigerian too. I live in Nigeria and I am Nigerian. But now we sabi ourselves. Especially in Nigeria, people don't believe in checkup.
Nigeria, my people.
You don't just believe in, you walk under the sun, carry heavy stuff, January to December. You don't believe. I'm not even saying when you have seen symptoms. I'm saying just
on your own.
On your own.
Yeah.
Then there are the ones that we see 4 symptoms at the same time. They tell you nothing. This is not the African man.
It's crazy.
So self-denial has a way of you should change yourself when you live in denial, especially when your friends, your family, they're pointing and saying something is wrong. You know.
I think it's Apostle Femi Lazarus that said that he went to the graveyard, and then he noticed that most of the victims of the grave are young people. And that's because the carelessness, of course, he talked about the spiritual aspect, and then another thing is that a lot of young people are careless when it comes to their health. People do not check themselves. People don't, if you ask an average person now, how many times do you do tests? I'm going to tell you, nobody when I feel sick. So in as much as that is being said, it is the reality even in relationships today. People do not check themselves. You are going into a woman's life or you're going into a man's life. As what? What are you offering? People will tell you, what are you bringing to the table? They say, I'm the damn table, No, that's not what we're talking about. That aside, what are you offering? Why should this person be yours and yours only? If you cannot answer that question, you are the trauma. You are the one causing the trauma.
Some partners are actually the trauma.
Yeah.
True.
You are the trauma because you're just... If you can actually articulate and tell me why, it must be you. If it's business, you ask somebody, you come for an interview, you say, okay, why do you think you should work here? And they'll give you answers. But when it comes to relationship, you don't... Why should it be you? I've asked your spouse today, babe, why me? Why me? What? Don't tell me I'm beautiful. That's not it. I'm asking, why me? What have you seen in me? Because you see, it is that thing that can hold that relationship up. Yeah. And if you know you don't have that thing, you are the trauma in that relationship. That's just the truth. We must tell ourselves the truth. You as a guy or as a lady, do a self assessment and don't live in denial. Your last and past relationship, where is the inventory? Can we see the inventory? Have you asked yourself, okay, so where did I miss it? Okay, where was I wrong? Okay, I was calling too much. Okay, I was doing this. Or you just go to social media and copy what somebody said and come and say, this is the reason why he left me. No. If we can do these things, your next relationship will be better. It's just the same thing in business. You ask your clients, you get feedback. They call it feedback. Good, that's the word. Feedback.
It will feed you back. Because, see, you don't just run on empty tank. You need to be fed back. I feel it right now.
The poetic.
I feel it right now.
The oil is dropping.
I feel it. And you see, this is another mistake people make. We're not talking about dressing today, but you see, when it comes to dressing, people say it's my body. That's for another day. The same thing with trauma. Trauma is not just about you. It affects the people who you love and love you. And people don't even know that traumatic experiences is not that, oh, you see a man who says a woman says she's going through something and say, and because in a woman. That lie. Traumatic experiences can beat a macho man. So we don't even also know that there are valid, valid ailments, medical ailments that comes from emotional trauma, emotional baggages, and all that. One of it, I have experienced this firsthand, so this is not Google. One of it is conversion disorder. I don't know if you entered the depth of it, but one of it is conversion disorder.
Yeah.
Conversion disorder is, I don't want to go into anything medical. I know you don't know this part.
I don't know it.
You
lost me there.
I went through neurology for 8 years. I love medicine, but that's by the way. So, conversion disorder, let me just put it in layman's term. Conversion disorder, just let me put it like this for the tech guys, the media people. You know how your MP3, you compress 3,000 songs in one small MP3. That's conversion disorder, emotionally. So conversion disorder simply means bad experiences you had growing up that you did not deal with, they compress and they are converted from your emotion to your physical being. So you can actually have problem with your sight and there's nothing wrong with your eyes. Is something you did not deal with in your emotion. You can have issue with your speech and it's not,
It
there's
has
nothing
nothing
on
to do
your
with
speech.
yeah.
It has been converted from your emotion. You can check it out. It has been converted from your emotion.
I never knew there was something like this.
Yes.
But I've actually been thinking about this. Because the Bible, even the Bible said that our tongue is like a bridle. That's bridles you use to control a sheep, right? Or a horse. Now that tongue now can actually control your life. And then science later found out that the nervous system is connected to the vocal nerve. That means that you can speak health and your body will respond. You see that? So it means that for science to find out, the Bible has been right. So what you are saying now is not wrong, because I've thought about this, because these sounds are words and our thoughts are words also in us. So you can think yourself into sickness. You can think yourself into health. You see that? So that's why you're just confirming my assumptions right now. I never knew there was something like that. You see that?
If I remember a line, I said, a man without thoughts is a man without words. And a man without the word is a man without God. So you can't boast about having words without thoughts. And you can't boast about having thoughts without experiences. And you can't boast about an experience without either healing or trauma.
Of course.
So in your experience is healing or trauma. So it's not just about you. It's the fact that you are having conversion, and this conversion disorder can begin to spill into, I'm not a prophet of doom. I'm not a prophet of doom. Sorry, let me just drop one more thing about trauma. Let me calm down. One more thing about trauma is this. You know, you said earlier that when you said your partner, the partner can be the trauma itself. Just like you claim you are the table. Why do people, when they will say what do you bring to the table, why do people say they are the table?
It's
not
just
selfishness?
Yeah, it is actually.
So all the fine correct food, now you be the table they go put on. Come for me.
It's just I want to believe that probably they are joking.
Well,
yeah.
Let me believe so also.
Because there are sometimes that it's just beyond you. It's not about us. So don't think it's about you. Don't think it's about me. It's about that union. The union itself it's an entity. You know. So when you are seeing yourself as the table, then where do you put the other person? Do you understand? So two persons. So in fact, I think that before you have a child, the union between you and that person is a child on its own, because it's a product of two becoming one. Do you understand? But that's in marriage, and also relationship is a shadow of marriage, right? It's something that is leading towards marriage, or should be leading towards marriage, and so it is the same assumptions that you have that you take over there. You understand? It's just that one will be more realistic than this. So talking about, the effects of this trauma, how that's conversion
disorder.
Yeah, conversion disorder.
FND.
Okay, now this conversion disorder now, first it became emotional.
Yes.
And because it got to a climax, it has an effect. It then tells you that this trauma is a real deal.
It is.
In relationship, because many people now are suffering, they don't know why their spouse is giving them headache, or why they are the headache in their relationship. This is the solution. So that's why we said that first you need to be your own first therapy. But it didn't end there. After being your own self-therapy, do an analysis, do an inventory. Okay, my last relationship. Okay, not even your last. Let's assume it's your first relationship. What has this person noticed, or have you genuinely asked the person, say, babe, can you just tell me what you think? And allow them just freestyle. It might be that she's seen Chris Brown in you. But allow her freestyle. Do you understand? Or allow him freestyle. Maybe he's seen a Cardi B in you. Do you understand? But let the person talk. Because you guys are trying to make this thing work, right? So the person tells you, and then you begin to see how the person sees you. Once you can see how the person sees you, now you can help the person. The ones you know you can do, you will do. The ones you know you cannot do, you now say, let's face reality. It's not to not, I beg, leave anything. You don't even value what they say. You don't listen to them. I want to give an example of someone Okay, I'm going to give an example of someone right now. And that leads me to the second thing I think. The first thing I said, be your own therapist. The second thing is be your partner's therapist. And being a therapy, if you see doctors, they are well trained. You know, they are calm. They talk to you. They allow you to pour out their heart, right? So after being your own therapist, you talk, now this person I want to talk about, this is it. So this person caught his woman cheating, right? Not cheating on the bed, okay? But it's almost going to lead to that. But we are together, right? And then why are you seeing this person? Why do you have to go out with this person on a date and then I'm watching you and then you're hugging the person? You know, not those type of say no, they are just not that one. This one you're already entering.
No.
Do you understand? Why do you have to do that? So of course the first thing an African man will do is, hey, you carry video first. Is he up? I don't catch her. No. You see that?
Why do you sound like Zanibo man? Can't you just sound like a Nigerian?
No. I think Igbos should not be angry with me. They have influenced me so much in their movies and all that, you know. So, you know, the first thing is to take the phone or try to blackmail or no. Be he or her therapist. Understand that people are confused. Can be confused. Thank you for that. And at some point, everybody is confused at some point or the other. Do you understand? We don't know it all. Yeah. There are still things we're trying to figure out.
Yeah, I think
right?
I'm even confused right now. I need compass in my left.
You understand? So, that is not the time. So, be the person's therapist. All right, fine. Babe, I've seen you. Of course, there's this defensive mechanism. No, we're just friends. No. Why are you following me? Calm down. Let's talk. What's the issue? In fact, give them a hug. Enter their head. See what is controlling them. You know, first of all, oh, God, no, they talk all these things. I bet this one woman never show you shege. Woman never show you shege. Well, you can either take it or leave it. I'm telling you experientially. And do you know that doing that, you will find out what the problem is. I know we watch movies, we watch skits. I saw one skit where the lady was asking the guy that, why are you going after her? Isn't that I'm not beautiful? The guy, well, he felt ashamed. She don't catch him now. There was a cut, you know. But at some point when she was yelling, he just said, "She doesn't yell at me." Oh. You understand? Oh. This was what she needed to get from him, using that approach, being his therapy. We don't talk. The only thing we talk is DSTV don't expire. Oh.
We don't even talk anymore.
We don't talk anymore.
We don't even know what we argue about. You will consider this podcast. I want to be a singist. Sorry, I did.
Yeah, so prolific is a hot cake, guys. You guys send a DM. He's free. He's free. Send a DM.
Be calming down.
So you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you look at this thing now. You have to be the person's therapist. Talk to them. Let's talk. Okay. And then they will pour it out. Don't just throw it away, write it down. Go and do a retreat. Then come back and fix your relationship. Because this trauma, especially people that are coming from experiences, they will come and see signs of what that guy did. And so they will start adjusting. Or what that lady was doing, then they start adjusting. Okay, let me be seeing Sade too. You understand? Because I have to edge up. I don't want to lose. You understand? So it's part of the traumatic experience we are talking about. The guy, he doesn't want to 2-0. You understand? Because okay, if this lady can do this, talk things out. And you know the funny thing? People will always say, you're always complaining. Yeah, no, you see, oh my God. Do you know you can complain and not complain? It's all about the approach.
So it doesn't work because you don't talk.
Yeah.
I think there are a few questions and suggestions.
Jacinta
is dropping it like it's hot. She has questions. She has a few comments also.
So she was like, so what if you date someone that beats up someone?
How did you
That one no
get
be
there?
trauma. Oh.
That
That
no
one,
be trauma.
that one are chaos. I don't know what to say, but
Me, I know what to say.
okay.
In this context, should not be the person's therapist.
Run. Oh.
Run. I want to start the therapy.
Yeah, yeah.
Please.
So no, but hold on. You know, I was like, so because that issue of beats up, it's actually barbaric, and we don't want to actually look at it that it can be solved. But I still feel there is hope.
No, you can help some
Yeah,
people
I still feel.
from far. Oh. No, it's true. Hello.
Of course, that's part of the. In fact, that's part of the measures to help the
My
person.
brother.
Give the person space.
Somebody is
Yeah,
barbaric. He does not have Baba that can talk to you. You understand? He's barbaric. He doesn't have Baba that can talk to him. You're inside room. You say you want to talk so that it will work. Auntie, he will walk you through on crutches.
No, so I don't think that the person started beating. You just woke up in the morning and start beating you today, beat you tomorrow, beat you. I feel that there was a trigger. Do you understand? Because you cannot just start. You didn't just meet somebody and you started beating and then you married the person. Now you guys were having it rosy. Then at some point, character started showing. You know, that's where I'm coming from. You understand? It's not like
Because
no.
you said someone that. What if you date someone that beats someone up? Not even the person in the relationship. So like he has a history of beating.
Oh,
From the question,
okay. That beats up someone.
Not someone that beats me. Someone that beats someone
someone.
up.
So has the person healed from that? Because some people feel ashamed of themselves if they've ever raised their hands on somebody. And some ladies too tend to be a bit defensive if they've ever dated somebody that was abusive to them, and then they now come and date you, and the day you say, I say sit down, and then they'll be like, just remember, are you... Some of them will not even answer you, Sef. They will just carry their bag, jeje. Oti lo.
And then in cases of women that beat men, there was this lady, I just pray, she know the watch. It was secondary school, oh my god. She's the beat, barra girl, big built girl, but we used to deal with people. See, you will jam your water do. What I'm just trying to say is, there are some people who can help.
So it's the same thing. Even if it's a woman that beats a man, we should not say this is it. It's the same thing. The man should stay away from her.
Stay away.
Because that one, first of all, some women are actually externally strong. You get. So even if the man is trying to be a man, she will clear his doubts. There are some like that. So
in fact, I don't know how to say. Sorry, I'm on live. I can laugh freely because I'm alive. See, oh my. If Maurice is watching this, I'm sure he can concur to this. My caretaker, the first house I lived in Jos. Chop. It's either myself or my roommates then. We were the ones doing referee. And every time, they don't used to lock the door. Every time we open the door, it's the woman that's on top. She's pressing the man. You just,
I'm not supposed to laugh. Forgive me. It's funny.
Man to leave. He already had 6 kids. He was.
And like she was pounding him.
It's not a cat fight though. It's
like
not
she would sit.
She make fists like that. Pow! And she's targeted. I can't tell the man to leave. He has children.
Yeah, so
all we could do was just separate the fight.
Yeah.
So that it doesn't.
Yeah, that leads me to the third solution that I came up with. You know, the first one is be your own therapist. The second one is be the other person's therapist. The third one now is seek a therapist. Seek the help of a therapist. Because this one now, you know, there are things you cannot solve, right? There are things we cannot solve. So we need a third party. And that's why we keep encouraging, don't die in silence. Talk to an expert. Talk to somebody out. Do you even know there are times that myself, I'll be confused about a thing, especially things that I advise people on. I have to call somebody. Doctors don't treat themselves.
True.
When you see that you are sick, you submit yourself to another doctor. You understand? And when that doctor cannot help you, they look for other doctors.
Because once you submit, you get to the summit.
You know, so people, be your own therapist.
Be your own therapist.
Watch, if you're just joining us and you don't understand what I mean, try to replay to get what I mean by that. Be your partner's therapist.
Be your partner's therapist.
And then finally, talk to a therapist. At least this therapist, the third party therapist now, it could be a marriage counselor, it could be your pastor, it could even be your parents. But before you start bringing a third party, there are questions to ask. If the person fits, right? You don't just carry every relationship thing and go and tell your in-laws. In-laws. We must be very careful. In fact, I always advise a stranger.
Better a stranger because
Yes,
there's no sentiment.
Yes. When it comes to in-laws, your mom or your dad will want to talk in your own favor. There are few parents that can now say, my daughter, my son, you are the one that is wrong.
Yeah, very few.
You understand? African mother like, is that his useless mother that is telling him all those things? Don't worry, my daughter. You understand?
Yeah.
And do you know one thing I found out? That families are naturally biased. They're naturally biased. Even if you tell them that, see what they will not ask you, okay, so you now, what do you do? You understand? They'll be like,
And why you did do that?
You understand? So seek the help of a third party therapist, most likely a stranger, a marriage counselor, a relationship expert. And I believe that you are on your way out of your traumatic experiences. The last thing, because our time is fast spent, that I'm going to be saying is seek the help of God. You can never take that out of the equation. I want to tell you on live TV today that any relationship that does not have that God equation, I'm not saying it must be Christian, Jesus, no. But if you don't have a fear of a deity, that is supreme being above you, that you submit to, I will always encourage you, the one true God, come to my faith, you know. But that's, by the way, if you know you are just you and your guy, or you and your woman, you understand? There's something missing out of the equation. Always put that God factor. Whatever it is you hold dearly as God, put that factor. Okay? Yeah.
Okay, so as we wrap up, I just want to just respond to Jacinta in one sentence for her comments. I just give you straight to the point. One sentence. She said, "What if you date someone that?" Okay, so we've addressed that already. She also said, "Sometimes guys don't like when the girl asks them questions." That's very true. I totally agree. Sometimes I like the fact that I said sometimes guys don't like when girls ask them questions. But so this is what I'm going to say to respond to that. Number one, you should be dating your friend in the first place. Yes, a man has a certain makeup, a woman has a certain makeup. However, there is always a point of compromise, and friendship is what gets you to that point of compromise. No matter the makeup of that guy, he always has a happy moment. There's a moment that he wants to give you the world. Do you get? So those are times you can capitalize on and say, babe,
Exactly.
you know this thing, and you don't approach. In fact, if you do it 2-3 times and your approach is such that you want to make it as a casual gist, he might even be the one to now say, let me in on this. You're making sense. Because he's in a happy mood.
Yeah.
So you can't be asking those questions when he's in his manly whatever. So seek those points.
That is where wisdom comes. That's where wisdom comes in. We do sometimes things foolishly, and then that's where we spoil things. Like I said, if you don't know what to do, you go and do the wrong thing, and then spoil everything. You should know when to talk to you. You don't talk to people when they are angry, when they are pissed off. Look for their happy. It's wisdom. It's just, in fact, that is even common sense. But you see, because we are not trained that way, we want to respond that very moment. It cannot work.
But sometimes even buy a gift.
Yeah.
And drop
I got you this, and I want
to.
I got you this, and I want us to talk about it. Talk about this. You know, gift is always bribery.
Yes.
You are bribing the guy or the lady.
He might even know his bride, and he will still collect.
Yes, now, okay.
So I'm just going to run through very quickly because of time. Okay, so she said they all need advice. True. What
Jacinta.
What of guys that nag too much? First off, I'd like to say, not because I'm a guy, I'd like to say nagging is not gender. It's not gender based, right? So again, I want to reiterate what I said earlier on. You're not dating just a man. Endure. Please don't try to pretend about it.
Talk about it.
Talk about it. Very quickly, Jacinta, you talk shallow, but I like the engagement. You're an amazing person.
Yeah.
So what of girls that fight over guys? How can we help them? Well, in the context of today's program, which is trauma, girls that fight over a guy is not trauma. It's not
It's
trauma.
just pure foolishness.
It is, I mean, you get energy.
Doesn't make
you
sense.
Get time, you get energy.
My
Fighting
question
over
now
a guy.
is, the person you're fighting over, if he die, you no go move on.
The person who did the fight over, what is his disposition?
Funny enough, do you know that guy doesn't even send them? Because if the guy sends you, he will not even allow you to fight. You would have, defined his territory to ensure that everybody knows you are the one.
Una go come fight, you come pull get wig, you come see bad head.
Ladies,
And
stop doing this. Especially when those that will video it. Why do you guys like embarrassing your gender? Have you seen it? I've never seen a guy.
No,
Guys say, "Mo, go fight." The guy they don't want. No.
babe.
On top babe matter. No. Guys can fight for money, other stuff, but say woman. So you guys grow up. Sorry.
Okay, so finally,
You come for me.
finally, what can we do to change a jealous guy or a jealous girl? If you notice, in being someone's therapist, you're not exactly changing a person.
No.
No, you are not changing a person.
Yeah.
First thing you're doing as a therapist, I talk with people about almost everything. But as a therapist, I listen first.
Mm-hmm.
That's the entry point to the hearts of people. Your first job description is not to change people, is to listen to them, to be a dumping ground. Let them just dump, whatever it is. So that's the first thing. You allow people talk, right? Then you can't change a jealous person. Now when you've won people's trust by listening, and you don't quickly just start giving solutions, they will be open to you. This is my favorite proverb in the world. My favorite proverb is an Indian proverb. It says, you don't cut a person's nose and give him a rose to smell. And many times we do that. We cut people's nose, then we'll carry our rose to give them smell. No. You let the person. When you won the trust, then you realize you don't even have to change. And then as a therapist, what you're helping people do is you're making them see what they were not seeing. It's not like you're introducing something foreign. No. There's something called blind spots, even in driving. So they probably have a blind spot about their personality. You just shine light on it. You are not changing them. They will now be the ones to still come back and make that change.
Yeah. I think the best way I think you can even change somebody is through yourself. I've done research about that. If you are trying to tell me something, they do this, stop them. First thing, if you read this book by Andrew Carnegie?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm confusing Napoleon Hill and Andrew Carnegie. I think one of them wrote it, How to Win Friends and Influence People. It should be, let me see.
Are you sure
I say it's Napoleon Hill. It's Napoleon Hill. It should be Napoleon Hill.
Sounds like what this guy
Public
wants.
speaking is Andrew Carnegie. Okay, so that book tells you that people first. In fact, he gave an analysis that if you go to the prison now, everybody that is incarcerated have a reason. If you tell them, they will tell you how the unjust system, how that the person they killed tried to do this. Nobody will tell you that I was wrong. They will even say I was wrong, but first they want to tell you that is human.
Yeah.
That is human for you.
Yeah.
So you cannot change somebody by telling you, oh guy, your armpits they smell. Even if you even say it nicely, your armpit they smell. Even no matter how you say it. So there are ways to do this. In our next podcast, I'll tell you the ways. And I also promised the ladies in our last podcast, I said I was going to tell you how to get a man now, like this. If you know that, okay, especially if you're in your 40s, your 30s, and you know that men are no longer looking your side, you will not blame them. Men, like they say the beautiful ones are not yet born. But I can tell you, even as at that level, you can be so wonderful, you can be it that even the men will be, they will leave the younger ones and be coming for you. Stay tuned in our podcast. Next, I'm going to be releasing that secret to you guys. And I'm also going to be talking about how you can change somebody without changing them. So our time is fast spent, and I would like us to draw the door. Today is the door. We are closing the door. The other time it was the curtain. This one it was offing the light. I'd like us to close. It's been an amazing. I acknowledge Jacinta. I acknowledge. I think Celtin Prosper was here. I acknowledge Gentle Photos, and so many other persons that came on live with us today. God bless you. And for those that didn't acknowledge their presence, we're here. God bless you also. We really appreciate the fact that you honored our invitation. We encourage you to support by sharing and liking. And for the photo contest, it will be coming up on the 20th of this month. We'll be launching, but people have started submitting their submissions. So send a DM and we'll give you full details about that. Send a DM concerning, just say photo contest, and then we'll tell you what to do, where you submit your pictures and all that. One person is going to be walking away with 1 million naira. Woo! That's amazing. So, ladies and gentlemen, Prolific, I don't know if you have anything to say.
I'm done.
So at this junction, I want to say it in Chinese.
Do we have up to 2 minutes? Because somebody is feeling bad.
Who is that?
Somebody, he's looking at me. He's feeling bad.
Aboki surplus.
He actually asked the question.
Okay.
I was going to respond, but then I started thinking about time. Can you please one sentence?
Prosper said, I'm still here, but I'm on YouTube. Oh, there are people on YouTube. Oh. YouTube people. How una dey?
So I want to respond to Aboki surplus in, is it earliest ways or easiest way? Easy, okay. So let me just say this very quickly using my personal experience. Aboki surplus asked, what are the easiest ways to do away with trauma, right? So for me, this is what I did. Number one, I mentioned it earlier. Number one, don't live in self-denial. Don't live in self-denial. It begins from there. Number two, he talked about seek a therapist. I did that. Then you might most likely have to change environment. Most likely. I have a friend, let me mention his name, Barnabas. He will bear me witness. I had an experience in a particular town, and then I had a breakup, and it cost me so much that I did not visit that town for 3 years. And let me explain what I mean. I mean, I got jobs that I turned down because I wanted to heal. It was that serious. I turned down jobs just so I will not enter that town. Because almost every point in that town, I had a memory with this person. So he helped me heal. And then about 3 years later, when I moved back to that town, my friend Barnabas, we did a drive, and he saw I was healed. So sometimes you might have to change environment. Sometimes also you might have to change the circle of that person's friends. What I mean by that is you're dating somebody who has friends, who you are friends with her friends or friends with his friends. You might have to do less talking, not beef, okay, not beef, but you might have to do less talking. If you were doing business with their friends before, you might have to do less of that, so it doesn't remind you certain things, so you can heal. If you're sure you've healed, then you can go back to business.
Yeah.
I hope that helps.
So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. These things is actually a continuum. It's not something we can give you all the downloads today. But
you just exposed my life.
So see you guys in the next tomorrow.
Yes,
tomorrow. In the next, no, not next tomorrow. Tomorrow.
In the few hours from now.
Yeah, by 7 p.m. Yes. An amazing gist will be posting on our social handles. Please do well to follow all our social handles.
Thank
God
you
bless
so much for joining us.
Bye.
Bye.